Nelson Mandela, the legendary South African activist and politician, once said, "Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It is more powerful than government in breaking down racial barriers." In the next few minutes, I will inform you about the incredibly important sports hero, Joseph Louis Barreau, the man we know as Joe Louis. Some may see him as just an athlete who did not contribute much to advance African Americans in society. However, I'm here to tell you how his accomplishments as a professional heavyweight boxer made him a hero of the United States. As a Reader's Companion to American History 2014 states, Joe Louis, during his reign as heavyweight champion of the world from 1937 to 1949, stood as a symbol of mythical and real American traits, like racial unity, national strength, and unlimited opportunity. So, let's step into the ring by first exploring Louis's rise to fame. Then, I'll knock you off your feet by revealing some of the American hero's greatest accomplishments. So first, let's stand toe-to-toe with Joe Louis by exploring his rise to fame. In Detroit, Louis found his way to amateur boxing. Instead of attending the violin lessons his mother expected him to complete, Louis used the money he received to learn to play the violin to pay his boxing trainer. He dropped Barreau from his name to hide his intentions from his mother and fought under the name Joe Louis. The African American Century, How Black Americans Have Shaped Our Country, 2000, tells us how at the age of 19, Louis became an impressive amateur light heavyweight boxer with 50 wins, 43 by knockout. At first, Louis struggled to obtain a title fight due to discrimination and the lack of desire for a black heavyweight champion. According to Joe Louis, 50 Years an American Hero, 1988, in order to surpass racial barriers, Louis respected his opponents, fought clean, and had no relationship with white women. Louis achieved this chance by maintaining a reputation as a black man with dignity. He became known as the Brown Bomber as he became a black American idol. The Reader's Companion to American History 2014 explained how by defeating James J. Braddock in 1937 and by becoming the new heavyweight champion at just 23 years old, Louis lifted the spirits of the black masses in the midst of the Great Depression. As the African American Century, How Black Americans Have Shaped Our Country, 2000 states, Louis became the first actual famous black man in the United States when he fought against the German boxer Max Schmeling. Now that we have knocked out Louis's rise to fame, I will reveal some of the American hero's greatest accomplishments. Louis achieved great things as a heavyweight champion. His 2 fights against the German boxer Max Schmeling allowed him to become a hero of the United States. Louis underestimated Schmeling on their first fight in 1936 and was knocked out in the 12th round. Despite his loss, Louis rematched Schmeling in 1938. The match was seen as a battle between democracy and Nazism. According to the African American Century, How Black Americans Have Shaped Our Country, 2000, even Franklin D. Roosevelt had told Louis that America was in need of his victory. Within the first 124 seconds of the first round, Louis dropped Schmeling 3 times before the referee declared Louis the victor. It is difficult to hear through this picture, but if you listen very carefully, you can actually hear Joe Louis. Good night, Schmeling. His victory over the German former champion made him one of the most popular athletes in America, indeed, in the whole of the Allied world, as reported by the African American Century, How Black Americans Have Shaped Our Country, 2000. Joe Louis, a black man, no, not a white man, a black man, stood as the face of America. The Brown Bomber Joe Louis dominated and defended his title like no other. According to Current Events, February 7, 2003, Louis held the title as heavyweight champion of the world longer than anyone else has. For 11 years, he successfully defended his title 25 times. Because of the rapid victories he gained over his opponents, each challenger he defeated was added to Joe's Bum of the Month Club. In today's opener, we explored Louis's rise to fame. For our main event, we learned about our American hero's greatest accomplishments. Now, it's time for the final blow. The next time someone asks you, how can sport possibly change the world? Keep them against the ropes by informing them how the American hero, Joe Louis, stood as a symbol of national strength, gave hope to Americans during the Great Depression and World War II, and how he made a dent in racial barriers with his fist.